You finally took the leap on one of those shots, Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, or Zepbound. And you thought, this is it. This is the turning point. Week 1 or 2, appetite drops, scale drops, and hope comes back. Like real hope. But now you're nauseous, constipated, exhausted, and maybe the scale hasn't budged in 2 weeks. And that voice whispers, maybe this doesn't work for me. Maybe I'm broken. Or I'm paying how much for this to get what? Now for some real talk. A lot of GLP-1 failures can actually be chalked up to a failure of strategy. I'm Dr. Dan, a pharmacist and obesity medicine specialist. If you're on Ozempic, Wegovy, Mounjaro, or Zepbound, and you want science-based support in using them without feeling miserable, then you best hit that subscribe button. This is literally what I do all day long. And today I'm breaking down 5 common mistakes that quietly wreck results and what you can do instead. And one of them isn't about willpower, it's about timing. Mistake number 1 is freelancing your dose. I see it all the time where people have started their medication too high, or they start jacking up their dose when the number on the scale doesn't move, or even skipping, stretching, or changing the timing of their dose without actually telling anybody. The usual thought process is you feel stuck and your brain goes, well, that's an easy fix, just crank up the dose. But no, this isn't hot sauce, and you definitely don't get bonus points for suffering. All this is going to do is just bring you a whole pile of side effects. And then people quit the drug and blame their body. And as a quick safety note, if you've gotten to a point where you can't keep any fluids down, or you've got some severe belly pain, maybe you're dizzy and not going pee very frequently, then you definitely need to call your prescriber, or worst case, go to urgent care. Now on the flip side, if you're stretching doses due to cost, shortages, or maybe even a fear of getting side effects, I get it. That's totally understandable. But at the very least, make sure you're doing it in conjunction with your prescribing clinician. For these meds, it's super important that we use them with the right dose, right time, and right body. Now, a quick check-in, and please be honest. Have you ever stretched a dose or changed the timing of your medication without talking to your prescriber first? Type yes or no in the comments below. No judgment at all. I just want to know how frequently this might be happening. Now, mistake number 2 is eating like your old self in a new body. GLP-1 medications slow down your stomach, and thus that I'm full signal comes in a lot louder, and sometimes it can come in a little bit late. And that's how your gut can get cranky real fast, especially if you're doing one of these 3 landmines that I see on repeat. The first landmine, same portions, new stomach. You keep your old plate size, meanwhile your stomach is in there yelling at you, we are full, and we have been full. The results is nausea, reflux, and that I hate everything type fullness after your meals. The second landmine is distracted eating. Netflix, TikTok, email, doom scrolling while you're eating. That leads you to missing your new fullness signal completely. And then 20 minutes later, you feel like you've swallowed a bowling ball. The third landmine is lying down right after your meals. On a GLP-1, that's kind of like shaking a snow globe full of acid in your esophagus. Cue heartburn, nausea, and you texting your friend, this drug is evil. So when you're first starting out on these medications in particular, think smaller portions, try to eat without screens if you can, and try to stay upright for at least an hour after your meals. Now, I want to know, which one gets you the most? Portions, screens, or couch? Let me know down in the comments below. Now, mistake number 3 that people make is they throw heavy, greasy meals into a slowed down gut without any support. That is how you build a traffic jam and your colon starts a protest. Your gut on a GLP-1 needs 3 boring and unsexy things. Number 1 is lower fat choices earlier on. Number 2 is water, and number 3 is fiber. High-fat meals, particularly the stuff that is fried and greasy, tend to hit a heck of a lot harder when the gut is slowed down. So at the start, keep the fat lighter and simpler, and this can help to reduce nausea and reflux. With the water, it shouldn't be, I chugged a liter once at noon. Small, steady sips throughout the day are going to be your key here, because dehydration can make that nausea, fatigue, and constipation way worse. In terms of fiber, you want to introduce it gradually. This is what keeps things nice and smooth and flowing along. And please don't go from 0 to 40 grams of fiber overnight. That's not gut support, that's another kind of shitty chaos. Oftentimes, when someone tells me that the med isn't working or that they feel horrible on it, 9 times out of 10, it's because they're not having enough water, enough fiber, or they're just having high-fat food chaos. And if you had to pick one, fiber, water, or reducing your fat down, which one is the one that you think you need to level up this week coming forward? Let me know down in the comments below. Mistake number 4 that people make is expecting movie montage level weight loss. Common expectations sound like, I should be down 10 pounds this month. If I'm not losing by week 2, it's not working. If the scale isn't moving every week, then I have failed. The reality is that half a pound to 1 pound per week is actually really solid progress for a majority of people. And in fact, a flat scale for 10 to 14 days can be completely normal because of fluid shifts, hormones, stress, lack of sleep, you name it, there are so many things that can ultimately affect your weight. And one of the big things that I've already teased, timing can play a role as well. If your injection day or timing is all over the place, that's going to lead to drug level swinging, your appetite swinging, side effects are going to definitely swing, and your results are also going to swing. If you were to fix one thing, pick a specific dosing day, as well a consistent dosing time, such as Sunday morning, and protect that like an appointment. Unrealistic expectations plus inconsistent dose timing equals people quit by week 4 and think that they failed. And mistake number 5 is trying to white knuckle this alone because you still believe that this is your fault. Let's say the quiet part out loud. Nobody wakes up in the morning and says, you know what? I want to be fat. Or I want to dread having my photo taken. Or you know what? I really want my knees to hurt and to get a lecture from my doctor every time I see them. If it really were just about eating less and moving more, you would have solved this years ago. And to be honest, I wouldn't have a job. Diet culture trains you to believe, I did this to myself. And so when side effects show up, when your weight stalls, or when the pharmacy is out of stock, instead of asking for help, you quietly decide, I'm the problem. I should be able to figure this out on my own. I just need to try harder and punish myself more. Meanwhile, you're getting medical advice from TikTok comments and from your uncle who thinks just stop eating bread is cutting-edge science. Here's the truth. Obesity is a medical condition driven by genetics and hormones. And yes, menopause can crank that level of difficulty way up. It's shaped by your environment, stress levels, sleep, and so much more. It's actually quite mind-boggling the number of things that are involved and play a role in how our bodies manage our weight. But none of those things include a personality flaw. The people who do the best on GLP-1s are not the ones with the most willpower. They're the ones who finally stop treating their weight like a moral failure and start treating it like a medical condition that deserves real support. And that is exactly why I created Dr. Dan's Empowerment Hub. Because if you're juggling meds, food, side effects, stalled weight, pharmacy drama, and this very heavy story that I did this to myself, that's an impossible load for one person. And so the Hub is my science-backed weight management community, where I go live every single week with members of the Hub to check in and answer their questions. And you're in a room full of people that are there to support you and understand exactly what you are going through. You are not broken, and you definitely don't have to do this alone. If you want that kind of support, go to drdanshub.com or head down to the pinned comment down below and click the link and sign up for your 14-day free trial and see if this is the community that you've always been needing. All right, so to summarize and to give you your GLP-1 reset for this coming week, there's 4 things to focus on. 1, stop freelancing your dose and loop in your care team. Number 2, shrink down your portions, listen for full before sick. Number 3, support your gut with fiber, water, and a lower fat intake, especially early on. And number 4, check those expectations and make sure you're timing that dose appropriately. You are not failing your GLP-1 medication. Most likely, nobody ever showed you how to use it in a way that works with your biology instead of against it. And if this video helped, be sure to hit that subscribe button and share it with a friend that might be struggling. And let me know down in the comments, which mistake are you going to be working on this week? All right, that is it, and that is all, you beautiful people. I'm Dr. Dan, and please remember, small tweaks lead to massive peaks.